A lot of you know me from my 2010s and 2000s fashion content, and I just wanted to talk to you and get to know you a little bit better because I've never really told you about me. First off, I'm from Rochester, New York, born and raised. I used to have a vintage boutique on Park Avenue here, if you're familiar with the city. I had it from 2013 to 2017 is when it was open. I still sell it online. There are a lot of factors that went into closing the boutique, mainly corporate real estate, evil landlords. Basically, it was the TLDR of why I had to close the physical location, but I have lots of stories from my time there, and I'm planning on making a whole nother video about my experiences there because I have some wild stories. But I have a whole archive of vintage clothing on top of the 2010s and 2000s clothes that I have. Despite what you see here, how many clothes I have. I actually live in a 900 square foot townhouse, so I have to make the best of this limited space that I have. Not only do I have a collection of clothing, but I have a lot of other weird collections all around the house. If you ever want to see my collections or how I live or a room tour, house tour, whatever, let me know about that. My mom had me when she was 42. A lot older than other people's parents my age. So my grandma was born in 1918. She was a fashionista. I'll put a picture of her here. She is kind of the reason that our whole family is into clothes. She made her own clothes. I still have some of her clothes. She was from New York City, so she always liked getting dressed up and dolled up, and she kind of instilled in our whole family a love of clothing. We didn't have a ton of money growing up. I never really realized until I was older that I didn't have as much as the other kids had until, you know, they started wearing their North Face or their Hollister and Aeropostale and Abercrombie to school, and I had my cute little JCPenney clearance clothes, which nothing wrong with that. That's the foundation of who I am. She would always give me like birthday money to go shopping and go back to school with. So because my mom is so much older, I have a lot of her clothes as well from the 70s, but she was a singer and performer, entertainer professionally here in Rochester in the 70s with her sister, Melissa and Honey. My mom's name is Honey. They were a duo, and they had all these elaborate stage outfits, and I have some of them, and that is another reason why I've always been into clothes. Another thing about my mom being, you know, a professional musician, full-time as a living, is that music is so important to me. I grew up around so much music. Not only was my mom a musician, but my dad is like the #1 Beatles fan. He got me into classic rock. The music to me in my videos is just as important as the outfit. When I try to create an outfit, to me it's so important to pair the right song with the vibe, and I try really hard to go back and bring some of my favorite music and make it like a whole experience. That's why I don't talk a lot in a lot of my videos, actually, is because I think that the music is just as important as the outfit some of the time. Subcultures that I were a part of were music based. My emo subculture, you know, I was a scene kid. I went to shows multiple times a week. I was living, breathing, in being one with the music, and it was just as important as the clothes. And oftentimes the music influenced the clothes. The thing is like, I'm really bad at talking to the camera. I'm really bad at formulating my thoughts. I don't plan anything. I don't write anything down. I don't give myself bullet points. And maybe I should, because otherwise I'm disorganized and all over the place. Another thing about me is I have OCD, and part of why I have so much is it became a compulsion to keep hoarding things, okay, and not letting go. Anybody who has OCD knows how hard it is sometimes to let go of things because you have certain memories or certain attachments to things, or you have convinced yourself that like something bad will happen if you give away the clothes. I have worked through this a lot, and I'm in the process of getting rid of the things that I actually don't need. So that's another part of why I have so much, but she really taught me to keep and hold on to the things that I care about. So that's why I have so much. By the way, 2005 was the year I was diagnosed. So it's my 20-year anniversary of being diagnosed this year. Wild. Also, my partner, who you can probably hear in the other room, is a full-time content creator on YouTube and Twitch and a voice actor. And in the 2010s, they really started taking off. So I had to go to conventions with them. I didn't have to go, but I went to a lot of their work conventions, which were things like PAX West, South, RIP South, East, and Indie PopCon. Part of the golden era of like my fashion blog days, I transitioned from writing a fashion blog to making very updated Instagram posts about and Tumblr posts about what I was wearing to these conventions, and it was part of why I bought so much in the 2010s, and it became a huge thing. I'm actually working on a YouTube video, like my convention era, if that's something you wanted to hear about. But that period of my life kind of like shifted things and changed things forever. We were meeting a lot of people that I had only seen their content online, and they're some of my friends and probably will be lifelong friends to this day. And it just was a life-changing moment. I thought that I had to be perfect and polished and have all these cute little fits together. And in 2017, your girl snapped. I had a full-on like mental breakdown in 2017, and honestly all the way until 2021 I still was struggling with this period of my life. And so part of the reason why I still wear so many of my clothes is because during this time period I really like checked out and dissociated and only did what I had to get by, and I really didn't have a chance to sit and be present with what was happening with the culture. So starting making these videos was really a way to get me to go back and wear what I had collected through this time period, especially from 2017 to 2021, and really challenge myself, like why I got on TikTok, because I wanted to enjoy what I have. And that kind of really got me to realize that I don't need any more stuff. So I didn't really choose to stop buying things for any like certain reason. I've always really been against fast fashion, and I used to talk about it on my YouTube channel like 10 years ago. Something that I got away from thinking about, and the more I sat and thought about it, I was like, well, I already have all these clothes, and a lot of them did come from fast fashion, so I'm gonna make them last as long as I possibly can and not worry about getting more things. To enjoy where I am in the present, and I'm really happy with where I ended up. So much more about me, so much more lore that I could probably get into. I've lived like 100 different lives. I was a little weird girl in my weird room dreaming about all the ways I would express myself as an adult. So that's why I'm making these videos where I'm like making my 20-year-old self happy, making my 13-year-old self happy really is super healing for me. And I hope you enjoy watching them. I'll be here as long as I can, making these videos about what's in my closet, getting the occasional new piece here or there, whatever speaks to me. But if there's anything else that you want to know about me, let me know. This was fun.